Hey there all your YouTube viewers! So I am back from my first year at university, which means that it's time for a university type video. So here's a video with a bunch of stuff I learned in first year that probably won't help you at all. Number one, and most importantly, is that you do not need to ask to go to the bathrooms. Yes, unlike high school where you had to sign your agenda even if you wanted to step outside into the hallway for a minute, university professors don't care if you get up and leave to go to the bathroom. Actually, a couple times people left for like 20 minutes and came back with pizza or whatever, so yeah, you can just leave and do whatever. Number two is that professors do not care if you're like 5 to 10 minutes late. Like some of them do, depending on what you're learning and what you're doing, but for my classes, a lot of people came in 5 to 10 minutes late. One of my teachers came in 10 minutes late every day, except for the one day I was late. A note, if you are constantly an hour late, people will notice. Not that I'm always an hour late, but there's this one class in which people would show up an hour late. Multiple people. And this is in a class that's like an hour and a half long. Also, a tip that will help you, get to classes as soon as possible in the first week to get your spot. Number three. Professors don't take attendance after the first couple weeks of class. Some don't really even take attendance after the first week. It's mostly just to figure out who's there and who needs to get dropped because there's people on the wait list because, classes, They will notice if you're gone if you have to make a presentation though. Maybe. Number four, which is just something that I find interesting but you probably won't, is that a lot of the teachers don't care if you call them by their first name. A lot of them only want to be called by their first name. I just find it a bit weird, because I never called any of my high school teachers by their first name. Sometimes I'd shorten their last names and such, and I still kind of don't know what to call teachers half the time. Especially in emails. It seems really informal if I call them by their first name in emails, but I don't know. Number five, which will help you a bit, is that professors are flexible with their office hours. When you get to university, they'll give you the syllabus and whatnot, and they'll say their office hours or whatever, and sometimes you have classes that conflict with the office hours, but you're really confused about a piece of homework and you need help. Well, you can email them and be like, hey, I can't make your office hours. And they'll be like, oh, okay, here's some other hours that I could probably do. You go to their office, they'll actually help you. Now, off of professors is number six. If you're living in the dorms, I do not advise you to cook and cut up your food directly on the countertops. Bring a cutting board or something, because I've seen people sit on the counters, I've seen people sit up there with their bare feet on the counters. Get a cutting board. Number seven, which is also a dorm one, is bring shelving. All of the shelving. All of it. There is not that much storage space. My dorm in particular let you adjust the height of the bed, which was great because you could fit like a million things under the bed. But other dorms, I'm not quite sure. Shelving, just bring it. Number eight is, if you're in a program, you are going to be seeing the people in one class everywhere. Always. Forever. Some people will tell you, oh yes, by second or third year, you'll be able to start recognizing people. Second semester of first year, I've already started to recognize people. So what I took from this is that you should start memorizing people and their faces and their names. Although if you're not in a specific program and you're just taking a bunch of random classes, you might not recognize a bunch of people yet. Also, I have no idea how big your university is going to be. I'm at a relatively small university, so it's fine. Number nine is a universal truth that I probably do not have to tell you, but always take free food. Always. Never not take free food. That's what you should take. That's the most important thing. That should be number one right there. I just really like free food, okay? Number 10 is really obvious, and I should probably make a video with some explanation to this, but if you have a key in your lock, don't run with it. It'll bend the key. Number 11 is that MLA format is kind of useless. Not completely useless, but if you're not in English, it's pretty useless. I'm in business, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, so you're gonna do this assignment in APA format, right? And we're all like, we don't know APA format. They're like, oh, well, you're gonna learn. And then they didn't teach us APA format, they just kind of expected us to figure it out. So you should learn APA format. I think in certain sciences and other things they use Chicago style. I don't know how to do that. Maybe I should change this around to figure out which program you're in and figure out which referencing they want in it. Or learn all of them. All of them, always. Says the person that still doesn't know APA format. Maybe I should change it even further to learn how to do the automatic referencing in Word. Number 12, which is a hard lesson to learn but needs to be learned regardless, is you are not as good as you thought you were in things. Yeah, in high school, if you thought you were the best in something, there's probably about a dozen people that are either better than you or match you in that skill set. I say this with a smile, but I am still learning this. The thing about this is that it kind of depletes your self-esteem, but we'll get through it. And number 13, which obviously should be near the top of the list, is that the fundamental accounting equation is assets equals liabilities plus shareholders' equity. Goodbye!